Hi everyone. I can't stand liberals. I really can't. I think they're a cancer on democracy. There's a specific type of liberals I really can't stand now, and that's the neoliberals, and that's the people that I rail against. The most I would suggest on this channel is the group of people that I rail against, because over here neoliberals are stopping a socialist government. I'm not a socialist myself, but I certainly think that what Jeremy Corbyn's offering is better than anything you've had from the Labour Party or the Conservative Party. Certainly in my lifetime, I've never had a socialist government. I was born in 1974. So, I mean, I might have had one when I was very young, but certainly you can't say that the Blair governments and the Brown governments and etc. Were left-wing or socialist at all. It's the neoliberals that are stopping that happening. I would like to see it. I would like to see what sort of difference the country it would make. Neoliberals suck though. They have done for a long time. Instead of policies, you get platitudes. Instead of speeches, you get slogans, and instead of virtues, you get virtue signalling. Now, that's what you get over here with Jeremy Corbyn, but you do get it in America as well. And it was, while the virtue signalling was on fire the other night in the first of the presidential debates. I haven't watched the second one yet with Bernie Sanders. I'm expecting it to be much of the same, although I have seen some clips of Andrew Yang and he disappointed me rather quite a lot. I'll get to that when I do the video later. But for instance, here's some virtue signalling that was happening. I covered this in the video I covered about Tulsi Gabbard, who absolutely ripped that debate stage up and just threw it in the bin and said, okay, thank you very much, next. Shall we move on to the next one? But this is the point where Beto O'Rourke was asked a question about the highest rate of tax, I think it was, 70%. He proceeded to dodge the question, first of all in English, and then dodge it in Spanish as well. It was just... his answer was full of, it was just platitudes. And then he peppered it with Spanish as well to say to the Spanish people, hey, I can speak Spanish, I can speak your language. And him there, he looked and thought, that's a great idea, I'll try that. And he started speaking Spanish then straight afterwards. At which point Twitter went, hold on a minute, there's a guy on stage tonight, which was last night, on the second debates, who speaks like 8 or 9 languages. Going to be in there all night when he answers a question in all 8 languages. It was a nonsense. It really was. Beto and Booker speaking Spanish. It wasn't just them. Across the board. Excuse me. Across the board there was virtue signalling. But De Blasio, that's Bill de Blasio, who he was one of the best guys from that night, by the way, the first debate. He really was one of the best, most progressive voices there. But even he couldn't help but blame Russia for hacking the election when that didn't bloody happen, I'm afraid, Bill. And even he was saying that he just says he has a black son. He just decided to tell people I have a black son in the middle of a debate. And then Cory Booker obviously jumped in and said, yes, I'm black and I come from a black neighbourhood. It's like, you're kidding me. These are actually people that might get the presidency. You know, these are the people that are going to be fighting against Donald Trump. Donald Trump would chew Cory Booker up and spit him out. He really would. There was only one person on that debate stage, of course, that I thought could hold the role against Trump, and that was Tulsi Gabbard, and even she was virtue signalling. I mean, she was asked one question about equal pay early on in the debate, and I swear she answered it with words to the effect of, I was in the army. I still am in the army, or something like that. So even she isn't averse to it. She warmed up better as the night went on, thankfully. But the worst of them all wasn't any of these. The worst was this guy. You see, Julian Castro. Now, for all intents and purposes, I actually said that he had one of the better nights of the 10 that were on stage in the first debate. I thought he was on the better ones. But the zinger that he dropped during this speech, honestly, was... at the time I thought, did he just say that? I thought, no, I'll go back and check. And I went back and checked. And sure enough, yeah, he really did. Take a bow, Julian. It really is. This is virtue signalling. Well, it goes too far.
Yes, it would. I don't believe only in reproductive freedom, I believe in reproductive justice. And
listen to the. I'm going to rewind this and play it again. He believes in reproductive justice. What sort of justice? Reproductive justice? What is that? And he says, "Oh, let me explain what it is." And he goes on to explain what it is with a brilliant, funny answer, the title of which has probably given it away. But listen to the crowd shouting. Listen to them. They're cheering. What?
Yes, it would. I don't believe only in reproductive freedom. I believe in reproductive justice. And, you know, what that means is that just because a woman, or let's also not forget, someone in the trans community, a trans female,
Hear the applause.
is poor, doesn't mean they shouldn't have the right to exercise that right to choose. And so I absolutely would cover the right to have an abortion. More than that, everybody in this crowd and watching at home knows that in our country today, a person's right to choose is under assault in places like Missouri, in Alabama, in Georgia. I would appoint judges to the federal bench that understand the precedent of Roe v. Wade and will respect it. And in addition to that, make sure that we fight hard as we transition our healthcare system to one where everybody can get and exercise that right.
Whether they're a man or a woman. He actually said, let me nail it down, I'm pretty sure he said transgender woman just because she's poor should be able to get,
Is poor doesn't mean they shouldn't have the right to exercise. Female is poor doesn't mean they shouldn't have the right to exercise.
Just because a transgender female is poor doesn't mean she shouldn't get the right to exercise.
That right to choose.
That right to choose. Just because she's poor. No, Julian. The thing that actually dictates that she doesn't get that right to choose and doesn't get that right to choose as to whether she has an abortion or not, the thing that stops that is the fact that she was born biologically male. That's the thing. And the thing that gets me the most about this is that Julian Castro, that answer he thought was good enough to put on his Twitter feed. This video, the reason it went on longer than that's the video that he put on his Twitter feed. He's proud of it. He's proud of saying that men can get abortions too. Now, I'm not going to be here and I'm not going to shit all over the transgender rights community or anything like that, LGBTQ. If you've followed my channel for any amount of time, you will know I am extremely loud and extremely vocal in supporting your cause. And I understand more than most just how badly you have been persecuted throughout history. But come on. We can't go this far. This is stupid. This is going against biological facts. He loved that video. That right there, even though he had a pretty decent night, is a fake lefty. That's fake left wing. That's fake populist left wing. That is a neoliberal. That's a centrist with neoliberal policies. He's got a slightly hipper rap than some of the others on stage, but don't be fooled by it, because anybody who says that transgender females, those who were born male and then transgendered over female, should have the right to an abortion, whether or not they are poor, and then puts it on their Twitter and is proud of it. Well, that just shows you how badly society in America has slid. Julian Castro, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So woke, he wants men to be able to have an abortion too. Isn't that great? Thanks very much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe. Click the bell down there so you get a notification of when I drop further videos. And please make sure you click through to the website as well to find out ways you can support me. I cannot do this without your support, and unlike the likes of MSNBC, who set that debate up and did all the wonderful jazzy stuff and then gave you a load of BS and mistruths and a load of sleight of hand. I'm not going to do any of that, but I'm not very well funded, certainly not as well funded as they are, and I need your help. Thanks very much for your help. Thanks very much for your support. Until next time, peace and take care.